7 strategies to help you attract an executive sponsor, and 21 action items to help you get ahead faster. We're going to look now at my favorite strategy, which is number 4. Speak to the invisible woman or man in the room. Now, this sounds a little goofy, but it's actually not goofy at all. The fact is that sponsors often advocate for you behind closed doors without you having had a chance to even know that they would be there or ask them to support you. Sometimes you don't even know who they are. Of course, when you do know who they are and you can ask them, you should. You absolutely should. And you should shine bright for them and make sure they always see the best side of you, the part of you that is ready for that next big assignment, that can put all your experience to work, that's ready to take on tough challenges and do hard. You should always be showing people that you know that side of you, and so they can support you. Now here's the trick though. Like I said, a lot of the time some sponsors don't even know they're gonna help you. They just know they're in a conversation about who to take on a new leadership potential. An opportunity comes up for them to say, you know what, I think she can do it. And they do. And they do that because they've seen you in action. They've seen you in meetings. They've seen you in conversations. They've seen the results you can produce. They've seen the way your mind works in one way or another. Or they've just heard really good things about you from other people who've seen those things. So they're going to do it on the spur of the moment. They're going to do it based on things they and others have seen about you as you perform your daily tasks, as you participate in any kind of meeting, as you give presentations on all kinds of things, as you write reports. So the point is, in every meeting, every time you submit a report or an update or some kind of a recommendation or results, everyone that you're communicating to is a potential sponsor. And they may not know it until 2-3 years from now when they're sitting behind those closed doors in a position to help you. So literally every communication you put out there is an opportunity to create sponsors who will support you when the rubber meets the road and it's time to put your name in the hat for a really big job. Now, this can make us very self-conscious, right? We can walk around feeling like, oh my gosh, everyone's always looking at me and looking to find fault. And that's not at all what this recommendation is about. Matter of fact, it's quite the opposite. Because in fact, they're not looking at you to find faults. Everyone's looking at you the way they always do. And 2 or 3 years later, they might remember a moment, a presentation, a discussion, something you did that put you in the perfect position for the new opportunity that they have a position to support you for. So don't be extra self-conscious. But what you want to do is shine extra bright for everybody who can help you, which is pretty much everybody that you see. All right, now how do we do this without getting caught up in the fact that we have ongoing relationships with these people? We've built bridges. Hopefully we haven't burned some. Maybe we have. There's baggage in relationships. There are challenges between individuals and groups in the corporation that, have history. There's history. And there's also just the dynamics of the moment. You may be in a meeting trying to decide how to deal with a really challenging customer problem, and everybody has different ideas, and you have your idea, and you're advocating for your idea, and tensions are high. So how do we go through the day-to-day of our work, which is challenging, and shine extra bright for everybody so they can see our potential for future leadership positions? Well, the invisible man or woman in the room is our ally. They don't really exist right now. They're going to exist in the future. They're going to exist when they walk behind those closed doors and help us out. And they could be any of the individuals in the room right now, or none of them. They could be in your next conversation. But the invisible man or woman in the room has already decided to help you. When they're behind closed doors and they decide you're the one they're going to support, they've already decided to help you. So they're on your side. So when you choose to speak to any room of people, but make sure you're speaking to the invisible man or woman who's already your ally, that puts you in a very sort of positive orientation. You can put on your best self because they're already going to help you. All you have to do is show them why they should help you. And even more importantly, give them the experience and the information about you that they'll use down the road to say, that's the person I think we need in this position. So if it's a contentious issue, sure, you want to put your position out, you want to advocate for your point of view, but you also want to do it in a way that demonstrates how effective you are at working with other people with different points of view. So that invisible man and the woman in the room can say 2 years from now, you know, I've seen her in really tough positions and really tough conversations, and she stands up for what she believes in, but she's also able to work with others and make sure at the end everybody is you know, content with the way forward, or everybody's behind the decision, even if they're not content. That's what you want them to be able to say. So you need to give them evidence you can do that. So that's how you behave in the meeting. So when you begin to perform is not a good word, but to think about your performance as giving this invisible advocate the experience they need about you to advocate for you behind closed doors, you will begin to present yourself in a slightly different way than if you don't think that person is sitting in the room. And if you want to experience this the other way around, sometime when you're in a meeting, observe some of the other people in the meeting, people below you, your peers, in particular, and think, if I were ever in a position to sponsor this person, why would I do it, or why would I not do it? And you'll begin to notice some people you'll be more inclined to sponsor because they simply perform as though they're giving evidence to you for the opportunity you might have in the future to support them behind closed doors. And other people are completely oblivious to that, and they're performing as though no one can ever help them in the future, and they're not able to give reasons for people to want to support them and promote them behind closed doors. And so you will notice that the people who are good at it, who you want to sponsor, rarely are they self-conscious and performing. They're just being themselves, but they're doing it in a way that gives you the ammunition you need to help them in the future. And so when you're speaking and you're presenting and communicating, that's what you want to be doing. You want to be presenting yourself as though that ally is sitting right there just looking for reasons and ways to support you. Because in fact, in all the conversations you have, in all the meetings you attend, you are communicating very frequently to people who can sponsor and help you in the future. So put your best foot forward for them. And don't worry about the other stuff in the room. Don't worry about the other baggage in relationships. That always takes care of itself. You want to be putting yourself forward for the people who can and will help you when you give them the reason to.